Very good morning, you all. This is Dr. Jana, and you are all welcome to this third year BTech CSE. And I will be dealing the subject Android app development. This is specially a new subject introduced for you people, and the basic purpose is that we want to introduce the game development in the second semester, and I felt strongly that the students should know how to develop apps, mobile apps, both in Android based as well as the iOS based. So that is the reason we have introduced this subject Android app development or the app development using Android. So here for this we'll be going for minimum 60 hours class or more, and there are 6 units and each class will be 8 to 10 hours, and it is not a theoretical class and it is not a new subject, it is not old subject also, it is a new subject for you, and the syllabus and everything is designed by us, and some books are available, indirect books are available, Android 4 like that, some books are available, but this syllabus is designed specifically to cater the needs of the students, that they can develop some app, or what we can say, we can go for the app development. We have designed this syllabus for you, and I am telling you the first unit what are the syllabus for you. In this unit 1, the most fundamental things are here, that is introduction to the Android app application, and what are the tools, the environment setup and troubleshootings, and how to create the first Android app in the world. Then immediately we'll go for what are the features and also the architecture of this Android, and I will explain all the things, because unless you know the architecture of this Android, it will be difficult for you to understand the things. Then what are the Android devices in the market it is available, Android developer community, and obtaining the required tools like the Android SDK. Okay, this is the software development kit, installing the Android SDK tools, then configuring the Android SDK manager, and you need the something like Eclipse tools, then Android development tools ADT, and creating Android virtual devices like AVDs, and we go for creating our first Android applications and any other similar type of applications. This is the unit 1. Okay, we are not going for discussing anything on unit 2, because we need textbooks and other things for that one. And during this lockdown period, what are the practical things what I can deliver to you? Those things are the parallelly taking some theory classes and also giving you hands-on online. So what I am requesting all the students who are coming without laptop, better to discontinue. It is not suitable for this course, will not be suitable for them. So my sincere request and advice to all the students, I will be monitoring also online. If I find some students with mobile they are listening, I will stop them here. That means they cannot view it. Okay, that's the minimum thing that I will to do it. I already again and again I requested all of you to procure the laptop. You purchase first hand, second hand, you procure from your friends, whatever you do, that I do not know. So minimum things, you should have a laptop with the database connectivity while you are coming for these things. And time and again I will be telling the what are the softwares to download, how to install and configurations. I will be giving demo directly online. Okay, so this is the minimum things what I wanted to discuss on this one. Then we'll be going for the introductory class. As I told you that our motive behind this Android development was to go for this app development, because the student can start a career as app development. Recently, one of our mechanical student also, final year students, they have developed apps also. So I am expecting similar things. Other students, other department students, and especially computer science students, they can go for developing a number of apps, and even if they while they are studying also they can, if the apps are liked and it is in the Google and wherever you deploy, then even if you can earn money while you are working. Okay, that is the idea, that we want to make our students better professionals. They understand the fundamentals, they go for the applications, they develop their own apps. That is the main aim of introducing this subject, and me handling this subject. And I hope at the end of these classes or at the end of the semester or during this also the students will be able to develop some apps, and it will be a great tribute to us if you are able to produce a couple of apps, so that it will be useful to the society. Okay, thank you. Then I thank you all of you and welcome you to this third year first semester classes, and I hope all people will be comfortable because there is the first priority, the health and all things, because now in this no this lockdown period due to corona, a lot of trouble and lot of problem the students, faculty, parents all are facing. So in this scenario, staying at your home and attending all the classes and attending sincerely and working on your systems, it will solve the purpose of the students as well as the faculty and the parents. So then let me start. In our introductory classes, let me start with this. This Android, it is an open source and the Linux based operating system that is for the mobile devices. Okay, remember why you are choosing this Android, because it is open source first of all, and it is Linux based operating system, and it is not regular operating system for the desktop, but it is specially developed for these mobile devices, even if it can be a smartphone or it can be tablet computers. Okay, so for this type of small devices, this Android is targeted. Okay, it was developed by the Open Handset Alliances and led by Google and other companies. As you know, the Google is the champion, is the pioneer in developing these apps. Okay, and it offers a unified approach to application development for mobile devices, which means developers need only develop for the Android, and their applications should be able to run on the different device powered by the Android. So you need to only develop, remaining thing it will be taken care by the Android, that platform and all things. That is the beauty. And here, then coming to the history of this Android, the first beta version of this Android software development kit SDK was released by Google in 2007. So it is not new, even 13 years back it is introduced, very few work is done on these things. And where the first commercial version Android 1.0 was released in the within 1 year, that is in September 2008, still also it is 12 years old, and the source code for the Android was available under free and open source software licenses. So this is open for all. Anybody have the passion, they can go for these things. That is not necessary that will have a computer science background, but minimum knowledge of Java, XML is required for these things. So I hope all the branches people also, they know a little bit Java and they know a little bit XML, and I have around 60 I think video lectures in Google where I have covered this XML, where I have covered all the things what are related to these things. People can refer those things. They can go to Google and they can search. There is no need to search it throughout the web for their things. Okay. Then it is an operating system with the Java programming interface. You see it here, even if you are talking about this Android and open source again, this is an operating system with the Java programming interface. So I think now Java based things are more suitable for networking and all things. And anyway, these apps will be purely using in the networking. Okay, that's why it is the more suitable, and it provides a rich application framework that allows to build innovative apps and games for mobile devices in Java language environment. Okay, it is not only that apps, even if we can also generate games, but anyway we are have a separate wing game development. People who are interested for, they can work there, but here the apps will be, here this Android will be using specifically for developing apps. And the Android Software Development Kit, what we call it as the SDK, ASDK or Android Software Development Kit, it provides all necessary tools to develop Android applications. So you need not go outside to install any other softwares. Everything will be there available there. Okay. The Android SDK contains tool to create, also to compile and package Android applications. All the things it can be done here only. Okay. And the Android SDK, it also provides an Android device simulator. Say you know the difference between a simulator and emulator, simulator and emulator. When we are going for this small simulations, better we go for this emulator. So that is the thing, we'll be going for that one, so that Android applications can be tested without a real Android phone. Because for testing a software, we need a Android phone or a smartphone. But without having a hardware like the Android phone, we can go for the simulations, that what we are telling the emulator here, and we can create Android virtual devices like the AVD via the Android SDK software development kit, which run on the simulators. So three things are there. One is the emulator, which will be available here. Then we create the Android virtual devices. For that we need the Android SDK, that also by default will be installed in the systems. Okay, while we are installing this Android. And the Android SDK contains the Android debug bridge, or we call it as the ADB, Android debug bridge, or we call it as the ADB tools, which allows to connect to a virtual or real Android device. You see, virtual means what is the emulator we are doing, it is a virtual device, The real means you may connect to your Android device, mobile, and what is the apps also you can deploy there. Coming to Google, Google offers the Google Play service in which programmers can offer their Android applications to Android users. Okay, so what are the apps you are developing through this Google Play service? Also, you can upload and you can, if it is liked and it is accepted, then it will be there. You can put it there. Okay, and these Google phones include the Google Play applications, which allows installing applications also. And this Google Play also offers an update services. That is, if a programmer uploads a new version of his applications to Google Play, the service will notify existing user. That what we say is the subscription based, because who the people subscribe for this software and who have downloaded while downloading the subscribe. So what are the new versions, what are the updates, it will automatically notify to them. So this we don't say the client server technology, we call it as the subscription. That based on the subscription, the customer can get the updates periodically, and the existing users that an update is available and allows to install it. Okay, this is the advantages. Then coming to the Android architecture, this of course will be studying in unit 1, and specifically we will be going for this Android applications. Here Android architecture, you know, because already you have the subjects like the computer organizations, computer architecture. This more involves the architecture, the hardware part, and all things. Okay, and this Android operating system is a stack of software components which is roughly divided into 5 sections. You will see 1, 2, 3, 4. I think one more will be there also. We have 5 sections, and the entire Android operating system we can consider as a stack. Stack means one above the other. Okay, a stack of software components. So what are the components? One is the Linux kernel, then the library and Android runtime. They are clubbed together. Then the application framework, and finally the applications. Why we are telling 5? Because under the libraries we are having also Android runtime. That also the diagram you can better understand. So these are the 5 stack of components which is available for this Android operating system, and they have the different functionalities and the different jobs that is clearly defined, that will define. Now coming to the architecture, you can see a colorful diagram here. At the bottom you can see something red color, that is the Linux kernel. Though this is just like the seed, or it is just the we can say it is the key things for this entire things. It is the, we can say the seed. So this is the Linux kernel, it is available. Then what are there in the Linux kernel? If you manage to observe here, so all the drivers it is here. The display driver, the keyboard driver, then you come the camera driver, the Wi-Fi driver, flash memory driver, audio driver, binder, this is the IPC driver, and the power management. So what sort of things? So these things are to be controlled by the kernel itself here. You know the purpose and the job of the operating system. Operating system goes for controlling all the things or managing all the things. That's why all the important things what are to be controlled by the operating system, it is directly given to the Linux kernel. So it will be controlling everything there. Okay, it is clear. So it is not a difficult job to understand this architecture, because the computer science students in second year level, they have already studied the computer organizations and architecture. They clearly know what is the job of the organizations, what is the job of the architecture, and in the architecture how we orient, how we have arranged all these different layers and the stacks, and we must have the minimum knowledge about that one. We must understand all the things before going for development when we are. Then coming to, we'll discuss one by one. What is this display driver? What is the only name you can understand? So what is the related to display? We need a driver, because you know what is the job of a driver. Driver is also a bit of software. It is there. It is just like the interface between the no, the human as well as or some devices with the computer systems or the CPU. Okay, because by placing a printer beside the computer, it will not go for the printing of all things. You need a printer driver. That means what is the instruction by the machine or by the user, it has to go to the CPU, and CPU has to understand, it has to give the instruction which the computer will understand, and computer will go for a printing. So for that thing, so some sort of compatibility is required, or some sort of interface is required. That is done by the drivers. Once you install these drivers, then only instruction by the user, the computer can understand, and the instruction by the computer, the printer can understand, or any other devices connected, they can also understand. So that is the reason we go for the drivers. As I told you that we have a number of drivers, you can see it here. So what are related to display? That is the display drivers. what is related to keypad, you are using the keyboard, mouse, etc. And what is the camera, because you are using the camera, you can see the recording and the camera is on there, light is on there. And what is the Wi-Fi, because we will be using Wi-Fi for communications, then we are using the flash memory. So all this audio, video, this blender, as well as the power management, everything is controlled by the Linux. Just above that with the libraries. Here you can understand from these libraries, it is also a bit of software which is pre-compiled and everything is available for you. This can be the surface manager, this is can be OpenGL ES, this can be SGL, it can be the media framework, it can be FreeType, it can be SSL, it can be SQLite. It is a lighter version of SQL, and it is specially designed for these smaller devices like mobile, like smartphones, like the tablets, etc. Then WebKit, this is also some type of software for that one. Then libc, these are the things it is coming under the library, and all the libraries it is given by the green system, because this is evergreen and always available for your use. Okay, and why it is red color given for the, because that is the untouchable part, you cannot do it while you are designing. So once you have taken this Linux kernel, some sort of coding you can write, but after others users cannot change that. No, you cannot do anything. So it is the most danger sections. Without knowing, if you tamper the kernel, your software is gone and operating system is gone. It's clear. So you must be careful for that one. And anyway, it is not that easy for the level of the students available with us now. So they don't dare to touch this kernel, and they do not know also, I am sure. So if some people they know, don't tamper without knowing properly, don't tamper any kernel. Okay. So don't take it as a challenge. Maybe some resourceful people will be there to do, but don't dare and don't venture there. Okay. Then we are going for this Android runtime. In this Android runtime, you are having two things. One is the core libraries, and second one is the Delphic virtual machines. You see, why you need a virtual machine? You see, as I told you that we are using the Linux kernel, but it doesn't mean that it will run in Linux. So it can run in any machines. It can. What is the we need a Android software for that one. What are the systems Android based softwares? It will follow that one. There is no problem. For iOS, it will be different. Okay. Now this Delphic virtual machine, it is just like a virtual machines. How we are using the JVM Java virtual machine. For these things also we will be using. This is available under this Android runtime, and this name is the Delphic virtual machine. Okay, it is job is similar to the Java virtual machine, but that is related to Java, it is related to Android. Clear? Then we come immediately for this application framework. You may confuse because both are blue color like the application framework and otherwise the applications, because what is the application framework and what is the applications? Both look similar, both are different, and their boundaries is different, then the job is different, and all the functionality is also different. So coming to the application framework, this is the framework just above the libraries and under runtime, and here you can see it is a combination of a number of managers like activity manager, window manager, the content providers, then the view systems, then the package manager, then telephony manager, resource manager, location manager, notification manager. So all the things will be managing, they are put in the framework. You better know what is the application and what is the framework, or what is the language, what is the framework, because these are the things I think I have covered in ASP.NET, because ASP.NET is a framework. Okay, in the language you can do something and you can run on your desktop applications, but while you are coming to a framework, it supports a number of languages, it supports a number of database, and just like a frame, anything you put in a frame, it is put your college photo, it is put your HOD photo, you put it any management photo or principal photo, anything can put it there, and what is available you can put it and you can use it. Okay, that is just like the application framework. Then on the top of the all, that is the applications, we can have a number of applications like here, like the home and the contacts. Okay, then the phone, then the browser, and any other applications what you are developing that you want to deploy, you can deploy. That's why I'm putting dot 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 here. So the last one it is here. What is the applications you have developed, or it has any social importance and use? Anybody downloads, you can put it there and you can run it. Okay. So now you understand what is the applications you are going to run. It is at the top of these layers, and it goes to the application framework. Then it uses some of the libraries and the Java, no, Android runtime, that is the Delphic virtual machines. Then everything is controlled by the Linux kernel, because all the resources, everything is controlled by the kernel itself. Okay, so that is the idea. The same thing I am going to explain you in couple of no, files here or pages. The first one I told you that Linux kernel. So it is at the bottom of the layer, and it is we are using the kernel version Linux 2.6 or 2.60 whatever you say, and approximately 115 patches or patch files are available for these things. This is the old that I am telling you. By this time it may be a little more, maybe it is 120 or 125. I'm not sure about that one. I'm not updated. This I prepared long back, and this provides the basic system functionality like the different management what I told you, the process management, the memory management, and the device management. As you know all the things, know what is the process, you know. You already I given the clarity between what is the program, what is the process. Can we say the entire program as a process, or can we say the process as a program? So these are the things you please refer my previous videos. Here I cannot explain all things, but remember the bit of software which it can be content in the memory for execution in that moment, that we call it as a process. That's why if the entire program, if it cannot run in your memory, then we can segment into, or we can pack into the different frame sizes, and that will take it as a process. So all these process, because it is not a complete one, so there can be a number of processes. Each process is having a process ID, and people who anyway you are going for this no Unix operating system, all the things will be learning in this operating system, and especially in the operating system itself you have learned something, but while you are going for this Unix operating system you will have the clarity about this process. But here what is my concern, or what is our concern, is that how to manage all these processes, because all the times while you are writing a program, doing a job and all things, so a number of processes is going on. So this process have to be managed properly. Okay, you are in the middle of a process, we may go to another process, or we may go to some other applications. Then it has to come back, or it is to be, so all the things to be managed. So this is taken care by the Linux at the core. Then the memory management, because sometimes you may need more memory, you may need less memory, all the things this management is done here. Then the device management, I may need a Wi-Fi, I may need camera, I may need scanner, all things it is to done. Then the memory management, devices management like camera, keypad, display, etc. Also the kernel handles all the things that Linux is really good at, such as networking, because as I told you that it is a Java based, and you know Java is known for the beauty of networking. That's why it has that beauty also. It is very good for this networking related things, and a vast array of devices, device drivers are also available, which take the pen out of interfacing to peripheral hardwares. Okay, whatever the peripherals is there attached to a devices like your mobile, like your what we say tablets, for everything it works like no problem for that, and by default it works for the laptop, etc. And on top of this is, then we go to the second layer, that is the libraries, and on top of the Linux kernel there is a set of libraries including the open source web browser engines like the WebKit. Okay, what do you call it, the WebKit, open source web browser engine. So this is just like a web browser engine, we call it the WebKit. I already given you that WebKit there, and it is a well-known library like libc, and then the SQLite database, which is useful repository for storage and sharing of application data, and it is especially, I told you that the lighter version of this SQL, and it is mainly designed for the smaller devices like smart mobiles as well as the tablets. Okay, and the libraries to play and record audio and video. SSL library is responsible for internet security. Okay, so all the things are there taken care by these libraries. Then inside this library you are having another thing, that is the Android runtime. If you see at the extreme right of the second last but one layer, you have the Android runtime, and this is the third section of this architecture, and is available on the second layer. See, this is the third section of this architecture, but available on the second layer from the bottom, and this section provides a key component called Delvik and virtual machines, which is a kind of Java virtual machine type, and specially designed and optimized for Android. That JVM is optimized for Java. This Delvik, it is optimized for this for the Android. Okay, the Delvik virtual machine makes use of this Linux core features like memory management and multi-threading. So this is the beauty here. You can do a number of jobs at a time. That is the beauty of this multi-threading, and which is intrinsic in the Java languages. And the Delvik virtual machine enables every Android applications to run on its own process, which or with its own instances of the Delvik virtual machine. Okay, it can create its own instance and it can run. And the Delphic virtual machine it makes use of the Linux core features like memory management and multi-threading, as I already explained you. Okay. Then the Android runtime also provides a set of core libraries which enables Android applications developer to write Android applications using the standard Java programming languages, because I told you that it is Java based. And then we the next layer of this is the application framework layer, and this application framework layer provides many higher level services to the applications, because application being at the top layer, and what are the apps we are developing or what are the apps available by default, so all these things will be using at the top of the layer. So this is the reason we call it the application, sorry, this is the application framework we are telling. So this is the just below the application layer. Okay. So application developers are allowed to make, because here you are usually using a number of services in this application framework. Okay. Then on the top is the applications. We'll find all the Android applications at the top layer. You will write your own applications which is to be installed on this layer only. And example of such applications are contact books, browser, games, etc. Whatever you develop, whatever you can develop, you do it. Okay. So this is the things I think in the introduction classes we can discuss and we can talk about. And I think we go to the unit one, because before that we will take a small break for these things. And I will tell you that it is not only theoretical things you can listen again and again and you can write notes. You have to procure a laptop or a desktop, whatever. I don't mind, I don't badly need a laptop, but if you have a desktop it is fine. But as it is a portable, because now because of the lockdown period all we are there, tomorrow college opens in September, so all people have to come to college. So that time also we need laptops. Okay. So it is better for you who are already having desktop, it is fine. Who are not having, instead of going for a desktop, I appeal all of you again and again, please go for a laptop. Be sure that who are unable to use a laptop, this is a lab based subject and their lab is gone. You won't get any mark in the lab, either the internal and external. So you won't get, even if one mark there also, the most or the best mark can be given to, it is only and only 0. Be careful for that one, because it is not that I am saying what I say I'll do. So then I think we go for our unit 1. In this unit 1, we'll be covering a number of things, as I told you that. Let us see what are the things we'll be covering in unit 1. These are the contents which we'll be covering in unit 1. I just avoid all things. In this here, unit 1, this is your syllabus as per the syllabus design. The first one is the introduction to Android applications. So far what I am giving you, that is the introduction to that one. Then tools, the environment setup and troubleshooting, that I give you time, because maybe after this class I will tell you, because first of all I have to ensure that everybody is having a laptop. It is not that you will be barking everything and you will be enjoying it and it bounces through your ears and eyes. That will not happen. That will not allow it to happen. So you must have the laptop, and I may use different platform also, using AnyDesk or using anything. I want to see your laptop and your implementations. I can online check it here also. Not that it is a broadcasting system, so you will be working and you will be listening, or you will be no, so log in and you play games and other things, that you, it is not allowed. Remember, if any such students are observed, so semester is gone, and definitely you will be a student forever in these institutions. There is no alternate for you. Clear? So be serious from the beginning, because even if you are online, so you can learn a lot of things. The faculty, the management, and everybody is putting their best effort to deliver the best thing. But it will be fruitful once it goes to your mind. So if you close your and eyes and mind itself, so it will be bouncing. So the bounced ball, no, it is of no use. So no score, nothing. Only penalty will be there. Clear? Then the same thing what I told you, that it is a open source and Linux based operating system for mobile devices and smartphones. All the things are there, and it is also developed by the Google and other things. It is there. All the things what I given you, it is this part will be there. This I'll be sharing with you also. Okay, Android applications. It also provide Android device emulator, which is most important. I will be giving you some of the emulator which you can use, and this without procuring a physical device, we can also go for the emulation. This is part of the simulations, the latter version of the simulation. And also if you are able to develop some apps, So you can say, sir, I developed a what to do. Google Play is there. You can upload your map there, or you can download any other app there also. How many hits are there, or how many clicks are there, based on they will pay for that one also. But you need to subscribe for that one, and you need to provide your details to them. That is the minimum things you have to provide. And these are mm, the second part of these things we are going for, the installing Android Studios on Ubuntu. Remember, so I will suggest you to use this on Ubuntu, that is the Linux version, and mainly you go for the Ubuntu 18.0 LTS. Okay, this is the long-term service version. Okay, there is no excuse, you can do it on Windows, but as Android is a Linux based and all things will be more comfortable, and I will be explaining all my programs only through Ubuntu. Even if you are having a laptop of 4 GB RAM and some minimum some no, some 1 TB of or whatever the, even if some hard disk in some GB also, I don't mind for that one. So keep around some 40 to 50 GB for your Ubuntu, but it does not need this much of a thing, but you make it some, because while partitioning you go for that one. You go for the installation of Ubuntu, the dual booting, or there is a way on this Windows 10 also you can put Ubuntu without going for this no. But I always don't advise for these things, because some of the features in may not run properly. But I am using that one. That means on my Windows 10 I am putting Ubuntu, I am running. So I will be using Ubuntu 18.0. Ubuntu 16 also it works nice. But when Ubuntu 18.0 LTS is available, it is meaningless to download and install this Ubuntu system. Even if you have already installed Ubuntu system, there is way to update and upgrade, so you can do it easily. So those things are there. I think the faculty will be going for this Unix operating system and all things they will discuss there. Or if you badly need how to install, you can check the net websites. Or if you badly need my service, I am available and I can tell you how to install and how to update. How to install, that is okay, and how to update your Ubuntu 16.0 LTS also, that I will tell you you can do. Okay. So, but I hope the computer science people, they are smart enough and they are capable enough to download, to install and do all things. And a lot of documents are available in the net, so you can also read it. Always go for studying a number of documents, because instead somebody will explain you the minimum things, but while you study the literatures or the documents, you can learn a lot of things. Okay. So these are things I suggest to you. Then going for this installing the Android Studio on Ubuntu, before that you have to see that Ubuntu 18.0 is available on your system and you are logged in there. It's clear? So that is the thing. So with the advancement of the smartphones in the recent years, Android has become one of the biggest phone platform, and all the tools required to build Android applications are also freely available. The thing is that you are not paying a single penny for procuring or downloading all the things. All are open source and all you can download free of cost. And Android Studio is the integrated development term. It is IDE for developing Android applications. Okay. So then what else? Everything is available free of cost. So then you can go ahead and you can only have a system, and you start playing at your fingertips. Then how to install on this Ubuntu 16.04, but there is no much difference installing this on 16.04 or installing on 18.04. I have done initially on this 16.04, and the similar way also you can do it on 18.04, because after doing the installation in 16.04, then I have done it. Actually, I am not going to show you on these things. I will show you on Mac operating system, because that is a different flavor for you also. Because for computer science students, they must know the various operating systems. This you can do in Windows, this you can do in Ubuntu, and you can very much do in Mac operating system, because Mac is also the kernel is purely Ubuntu, purely Linux, so nothing to worry. Mac, nothing. Mac is nothing. Mac is also one application of this Linux. Okay, that kernel is pure Linux. So I will be telling you how to install and how to write program and how to deploy in Mac also. Mac also mean only in Mac I will be telling. Other things is easy once you learn how to do all the things in Mac operating system. The remaining you can do yourself in either Windows or this Linux, right? And the first uh, method is to set up the required repository and install it. Okay. What is the repository? Any of you can tell me what is the repository? A repository is a place, no, the set of softwares, whatever, where we, all the sorts of software and applications where it is available, we call it as a repository, the place where you store all things. Okay. And the second method is to download it from the official Android sites and install it locally. Okay, the first, okay, you write it method. If you don't like this method is, you write it method. Okay, back now happy. So okay, in the first method, we will be setting up the repo using command line and install it. Before proceeding, we need to make sure that we have JDK version 1.6 or more. Okay, so I will suggest instead of going for 1.6, you go for JDK 1.8 because it is a stable version, and for so many applications you can use this JDK at the Java development kit, because I told you it is purely Java based, and you need also to install Eclipse. Okay, so Eclipse also it is a platform, you can go for that one. So but you need Java JDK 1.8 you must install. So to install in your either Linux or in the Mac, I am not talking about Windows. Windows you download and install, that is not the, this is not the, what is the things I am giving, it is on either Ubuntu or on Mac, the same thing you can do. So sudo apt-get update. So first you update your operating systems. This is the then before that the step one, sudo add apt repository. This is the things where it is available, that is the JDK 8, what I am telling you that in Java, you can go for that one. The first command you can run in your Linux or the Mac, then you can go for the sudo apt-get update. Then third one, sudo apt-get install, because this is no the proprietary of this Oracle now. JDK, whatever the Java version are there, it is already MOU with Oracle, so all the things will be available in Oracle only. Oracle Java 8 installer, Oracle Java 8 no, set default, all the things it is there. So step 3, once you install, then you verify the Java version. Just you type it Java space hyphen version, then you can see what is the Java version. It will show Java JDK 1.80 or 1.8, that version it will show. Okay, up to this, if it is installed properly, then you can clearly see that Java is installed in your system. Okay, then coming to the installation of this Android, then we have some different steps. So step 1, set up the repo for installing Android Studios. So for setting up all the things we are doing, sudo apt add repository, so ppa, all the things it is there as it is, you copy and paste it there. So with this you can go for the setup of the repo for installing the Android Studio. Then we are going for the update, that is the step 2, that is we can write it like this: sudo space apt hyphen get update, then sudo apt get install Android Studio, because you have to install the Android Studio. So you can ask which version, all the latest it will be showing according to your system configurations, it will suggest you, you can go for these installations. Okay, the web installations command will install Android Studio in the directory that is /opt, because these are the Linux based, so that is a file called opt, and now run these following commands, that is the /opt /Android Studio /bin / this is the sh file. Okay, the script file sh, you know, the script file you will be learning in a Unix operating system or advanced Unix operating system what we will be studying. So the shell scripting script file will be there, shell files, and this will invoke the setup screen. Following are the screenshots that follow up a setup Android. So once you go for that one, you can see it will follow all the things. Then the first file it will come like this. So then you have to go just for the next. Okay, so welcome to this first one, just go for the next. Second one also you go for the next, because you just select the standard, don't for the custom, unless otherwise you are acquainted with the custom, always go for the standard. Okay, then you go for the next, then you go for the emulator settings. So with these things by default what is there, you just select and then select the finish. Okay, once you press the finish button, license agreement will be displayed. After it, then you have to accept the license. Yes, I accept, just put a tick mark, and it starts downloading the required components. Okay, now it is downloading, it takes some time, and in the meantime I can check Android Studio installations will be completed after this step. And when you relaunch the Android application studio, you will be shown the following welcome screen, from where you will be able to start working with your Android Studio. So then below is the screen where you can see this is, you are going to launch it first time. Okay, then launching and writing the application program, that is the second day. It cannot be done in the first day, because before that you need to ensure that you have a laptop and Linux 18.0 or Mac is not possible because you cannot download and install Mac. It will with the no that it will come with the Mac operating system OS 2 it will come, so you cannot do it. So only thing you can do in your Windows 10, there is a way how to install this Ubuntu 18.0. You see that Ubuntu 18.0 is installed and follow all the steps what I am providing you, and using all these things first you install all the things and install Android SD Android Studio. Okay, so this is all about the introductory classes, and the next class will be going for how to run the first program or how to first time do all the things. So this is because we planned that we will be taking classes for 40 minutes and remaining 5 minutes will be there for some general discussion and all things. 40 minutes will be teaching, and next 5-10 minutes will be there for again for any doubt clearance or any query or any part, because there are so many slow learners. So it is not that we will be delivering some things and go on delivering, students will be listening, because like this so many good videos are available and maybe better videos will be available. So it is meaningless simply delivering or broadcasting things like this. So people have to understand, and the next 5-10 minutes will be open for all the students to raise their doubts. So they can do one by one, or they can write SMS also. So or you can raise your hands, there is option there in your software also. So by this the faculty, especially myself, I will be trying to take a couple of questions and queries from you and try to solve. And thank you all. Thank you for watching this video. And this video link also will be available in YouTube. And I request all of you to subscribe and also to view these things full length. And if you like, then you can put a like. You don't like, personally tell me where you need improvement. That also I'll take care. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video. Wish all the best. Thank you.